Oh, yeah, okay, we just missed all that fun stuff, so we're gonna have to start over. We were muted the entire time.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, so,
okay. How were we muted the entire okay.
I have no idea. So,
and we
wasted the best intro ever. But maybe it's a good thing because I did swear a little bit in the first maybe 20 seconds. So, Normally I do an intro. So, hello and happy Wednesday. It is filled with brimstone and fire on this glorious, glorious Wednesday. Happy hump day. Or is it really a happy hump day? Because TFG1 Mike here looks like he is ready to have smoke come out his ears or breathe fire, which that means he would be upgraded from an Ewok to a dragon, but he's not the dragon here. I'm the dragon. So yeah, sorry about his luck. Yes, we are upgrading 4K. As I promised my viewers, I continue to try and improve the show, even though I still boomer the sound settings and hit mute, which hopefully that'll be resolved on Saturday when I get the new sound system. But we are in 4K, baby. Now, all we gotta do is get him and his potato into 4K, and yeah, we'll be kicking it. We'll be kicking it so good.
Well, the camera is in 4K. It's just the rest of the system that isn't in 4K.
Well, yeah, that's because you're running a Windows 3.1. You're still running on a 486.
If I was running Windows 3.1, it would be better than...
Yeah, well, you're still running a 486 for all I know.
No.
We got to get you upgraded with the times. We got to get you rolling with the times. One day we shall do this.
Got it. Oh, God, I just said rolling with the homies, and that movie is going to be 30 years old next year. Clueless, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shnikes.
Yeah. It happens. But so it's kind of funny that, we were ranting a little bit. So, when we're talking brimstone and fire and dragon's fire and everything, it's been a very interesting week. Yesterday at Tea Time with the Dragon, I did rant a little bit. I had some tea, had a good time. I guess somebody in the audience got their feelings hurt a little bit because I ranted and talked about my health. So, I mean, to that viewer, I'm sorry. You got to roll with the punches. Got to roll with punches. Yeah. Anyway, so today I go to Chipotle to get a salad. We're going to recap this a little bit faster because it was a little bit slower. So went there, card rejected. It's like, what the fuck? So guess what happens? So I go home and at lunch instead and call and my credit card and found out that somebody was trying to use Uber and I guess book hotels. So I was like, WTF, what the hell? So my cards got shut down and everything. So like some of the pills that I got from Amazon are now in limbo. I have no idea. The order's been placed, but I have no idea how they're supposed to charge me since that card's blocked. But luckily, I got locked in all my Black Friday prices for the equipment because that already got charged. So I'm like, thank God, because I would have been even madder if all this stuff I bought basically went up almost 30-40% on what I bought. Yeah, I would have been freaking red hot. So hope aspirin and a few other things because I just didn't want to fucking drive somewhere. Whatever, deal with it. Not only that, I don't care about supporting Kroger's. Kroger's sucks ass. I don't like Kroger's. I hope they don't merge with Albertson. They don't need to be a monopoly. They're one of the worst grocery stores ever. I don't like my Kroger's nearby. Going there, you feel like you are being tortured to death. You may as well put on their company uniform and walk around like a zombie. Because it's just like,
okay, so you brought this up. This is your fault. Tangent, but the tangent makes sense to what he just said. Back in October of 2000, I worked at Kroger Video for 3 months from October to December of 2000.
Poor soul.
In December of 2000, I moved from Kentucky to Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, the interesting thing about this is one of my greatest geek moments ever over a movie that is not really a geeky movie. But for those that don't know, folks, 20 some odd, well, not even 20 odd years. Yeah, 20 odd years ago, Kroger used to have a video section in the store.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to the pharmacy and yada, yada, yada. Well, this family of 4 comes in and they're like, oh, we're looking for this movie and the trailer is on the screen right now. And the trailer had literally just finished. I missed the title. But they're like, it has Christian Slater, Morgan Freeman, and a lot of water.
Hard Rain. Damn good movie.
Literally. Mm-hmm. Damn good movie. Love that movie. Interesting thing about that, though, is literally without even having to miss a beat, because I'd heard the trailer all day from working there. I literally pointed and I'm like, is that it? And they're like, yep, that's it. How'd you do that? I'm like, pornographic memory, whatever you want to call it.
All the above, and sometimes in between.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember the old rentals of, I do miss the old days of the rentals at Dillon's, but you know what? Or Kroger's, whatever how you want to call them, but, you know.
I don't.
It was a good place too if you're grocery shopping and you wanted to stop and pick some up. But, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. Hell, I know what you mean. I was a zombie. I worked retail at Kmart when I was younger. I was like,
them's the jungle right there.
My favorite one were kids driving hover-rounds around, crashing into shelves and stuff. And we couldn't really say anything. I wasn't loss prevention at the time, so I was like, yeah, whatever. Now as loss prevention, I could say, get the hell out, or I'm calling the cops. But you have to be careful how you word it. You have to be nice, because the customer is always right. Well, newsflash for you, Kmart, that's why you're broke. They ain't the customer, and they ain't right, because guess what? They stole probably a lot of stuff out of your store. So, let's just say I worked loss prevention as a manager for Sears, and I helped Kmart out time to time. Ours was the same company. Yeah. Let's just say it was a shit show, man. The best one was getting ready to deal with a crackhead with a knife.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I used to work, when was this? Was this 2000? Yeah, it was probably 2000. It was probably before I worked at Kroger. I don't know if you have them out there where you are. Thornton's gas station. Okay. No. Well, think of Speedway, think of whatever gas station you want to think of. There's this place in the Midwest here called Thornton's, and it's a gas station. And where the Thornton's was at Bardstown Road at Goldsmith Lane in Louisville, Kentucky, it was right next door to the Toy Tiger. So it was literally right next door to the strip club. And if you were working third shift at Thornton's when the strip club closed, you're going to get a hell of a lot of crazies. The craziest thing, though, one night there was a thunderstorm and it knocked the store's power out, and we couldn't let anybody out after they had already come in to purchase their items. We couldn't let them out until the power came back on to make sure nobody stole anything. So we basically had to hold customers hostage until the power came back on.
Wow. Did somebody send in the negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson there?
No.
By the way, that movie still kicks ass, and it is free on YouTube. So if you want to watch a great movie, I love The Negotiator. That's still one of my favorite Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey movies.
I was never a Spacey fan.
More
He's
Samuel
alright.
Jackson fan here, so
I don't really care too much for. He's okay in like one or two films that he's done that I like, but I was never an overall fan of Kevin Spacey. But Jackson's the man, man.
Yeah, that's mostly I watched for
boy.
Samuel Jackson. I mean, I've loved most of the movies he's been in. It just hell, there's one remake that I actually like, which I don't know if it's quite a remake and then more like sequel or something than Shaft.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well,
because like he's the son of Shaft or some crap.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so there was the TV show, then there was the movie in 2000, and then was it 2017, 18, or 19 that they did Shaft? Whatever they did another one.
Yeah, they did. I think it's his son. So there was like 3 Shafts in one. That sounds like a porno. 3 Shafts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But no.
3 Shafts, 1 cup.
No, and what actually the movie that got me into Samuel Jackson was Pulp Fiction.
For me, it was The Long Kiss Goodnight, I think. It might have been something else.
That was a great movie. It is The Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis. That was a really good one.
Gina Davis, yeah.
That was a really, really good movie. I definitely enjoyed that. Holy crap. Welcome, viewers. Welcome to the shit show that is known as the Dragon's Lair. Yes, we are live in 4K today. Mike's not, but we're going to fix that someday. We're going to help him.
I am. It's just
I know it's your 480.
Not...
It's your 486. And we got the Altered Geek. Hey, how you doing, Steve? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Steve.
You poor soul. You poor soul.
What, me or him?
No, you're 486. I'm sorry for that.
Oh. Whatever. It is what it is.
But yeah, that was a great movie, The Long Kiss Goodnight. I remember that one.
Yeah.
But
and speaking of, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of movies. Now on YouTube, folks, you can either go to the Marvel channel or the Sony channel or whatever studio channel and watch the trailers, or you can find something that you think is easier that would do things smarter, where instead of uploading 17 different trailers, they upload one video with the 17 trailers in the video. But if you do that, I know. Well, it's interesting. It's wait for the story. Now, if you do that, if you take 17 trailers, make one video out of them, and put them up on your YouTube channel as one video, me, as someone who pays attention to certain various implements YouTube has done over the years, they added the use of chapters, so you didn't have to put the timestamps in the description of the video. And if you go to a channel that says Rotten Tomatoes trailers, you only expect trailers from these people, except when they give you a recap video of saying, hey, these are the newest trailers of the week.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to a video where it says newest trailers of the week, I expect to start the video, watch a few, like if the first thing they start out with is, what is it? It's, what did they start out with? They did start with, what did they start with? I don't know. They start with Mission Impossible, the next Mission Impossible movie. Okay, fine, great. I'll watch that trailer immediately. But if the next movie isn't something I want to watch, I want to be able to skip it. And yes, I'm lazy, and I would like something to be able to just jump to the next thing. That's the whole point of the chapters feature, of the segmentation feature of it.
Yep. So,
and yes, I'm over dramatic about this.
So,
yes,
Mike,
what?
I will say, I have something funny to share with you. So, the last week, I guess YouTube's been asleep. Like they've been sleeping a lot. So, and they've been popping up in my timeline, so I can't resist the urge. There's been the somebody uploaded Aliens from Books to YouTube. And Deadpool Wolverine.
Okay, that had been done months ago. I'm sure new people have done it now.
You just see it all the time feed. And so even like when I was logging on tonight, the first thing that pops up is new 2024 movie with ... And I'm like, how the hell are they getting away with it? I'm like, did YouTube go? Because you get in trouble for everything else.
Yeah.
These guys are uploading full movies.
And get in trouble for everything else, exactly.
And one had 180.
At this point,
and one had 186,000 subs, and he had a check mark. He was certified.
Oh my God, moron. Okay, so yeah, but that's so like I understand. Back in when did Deadpool and Wolverine come out? Steve, when did Deadpool and Wolverine come out? February, March, April, May, July is when it came out. Pick one of these months right here, and you could be correct today on the Dragon's Lair. It came out in July. I can understand some moron uploading a theater-type copy to wherever on the internet. I can understand that because people might not be able to go to the theaters or might not want to go to theaters to see the damn thing. I get that point. But at this point now, if this happened last week, you said?
It was all for Thanksgiving weekend.
It was on Disney Plus.
All these movies were popping up on my feed, and I'm like, what the hell? And so, just curious, I clicked the links like, is it really? Holy crap, it is. And they're sitting there up for days, and I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself,
why is that?
I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, I still watch people I know getting banned or getting in trouble or stuff, but here we go. All these are up on YouTube, and I'm like, how the hell? What?
Yeah. So my thing was, and yes, when I very rarely do YouTube comments. I mean, sometimes on channels like Rotten Tomatoes trailers, I'm not going to comment on it. I may like it if I like the video kind of thing, but I'm not leaving a comment. However, in this case, either it was their fault or it was YouTube's fault, and I'm assuming it's their fault because it has to be a manual setting to add the chapters. I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never used the feature. So, in my overdramatic fashion using caps lock, I said, please, for the love of God, use chapter markers. That's what they're there for. 17 other people, blah, 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 blah. There was like a couple of people who were like, exactly, if they wanted to... There were a couple people that agreed with me, and then there were a couple of people that were like, what's wrong with you? They need the retention. They need this. They need that. Blah, 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 blah. And there was this one guy who I've since muted. When he's like, seriously, they're in the description box, you doinks. And I'm like, what? Really? No, they weren't. Not when I first made my comment. And they weren't. So this guy and I went back and forth. He's like, oh, you're crying. I'm like, yeah, I'm not crying. You're crying. Blah, blah, blah.
No,
blah.
You're crying.
And then yeah. And then I just went ahead and muted that person on YouTube completely. And then somebody commented 19 hours ago and said they weren't in the description when you first made your comment. It was edited in later as well as adding the chapters. So the person that told me that actually told me, hey, look, your comment actually helped them to realize they didn't put things into their video. So, yay, I actually made some change on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that if you're going to...
I'm clapping for you. That was clapping.
You silent.
What? Would you rather have this? Here we go.
No.
I'd give you the butching clap.
But my point is, like, I was more so expecting the channel to respond to me, but then again, it is Rotten Tomatoes. They don't respond to anybody.
Or if they Tomatoes, it's always rotten.
Yeah, exactly.
It smells like ass.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. That happened, and then Steve's gonna love this because Steve's all about the AI. I get nothing but when I first log on to Facebook, I get nothing but to me. oh, you should like this page, you should like that page, you should blah 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 blah. Now, normally I would just avoid this and just like Luke in Last Jedi, just dust it off my shoulder kind of thing. But I am sorry. Yeah.
Let's help me out
I am
there.
sorry. Yeah. When it comes to a show that I've loved since I was 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, came out when I was 2. When it comes to Knight Rider, you do not use the generic male AI voice to describe Knight Rider to people. Whether you're suggesting that page to someone who doesn't like the page but knows the... And I wrote this whole long-ass diatribe of thing on Facebook. Here we go. So you know that generic AI male voice, and I tried to... I'm assuming that's fake. I'm assuming that's completely fake. But in this case, if it is a person, I'm sorry to that person, yada, 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 yada. I just saw a post with that person's voice, or that AI voice, the male voice, explaining to me about Knight Rider. I'm 44 years old. I'm 2 years older than the show is. I've been watching the show since I was 3 or 4. I know everything. I've done a podcast about all of the Knight Rider shows, movies, everything that they've ever done. So I didn't need this suggestion kind of thing. And my brain just broke. And I just lost all my stuff this morning. This post, literally, I wrote this post 12 hours ago, and it's this long diatribe on my Facebook about it. And my point is that it just seems like everything at the end of 2024 is just making me angrier and angrier and angrier. And I hope it's going to stop in 2025, but the fact that January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're starting 2025 off with what the... Holy crap.
Okay. So when you talk about we're ending the year with 2020, and going to 2025, every year, and I'm sure all you wonderful people on X, all you wonderful people on YouTube watching, by the way, if you haven't yet, consider following me on X. Consider following me on Twitch. Consider following me on YouTube, subscribing. We have talk shows, gaming. I'm getting ready to drop some nice reviews out very soon on some games. So when I think about this, every year, and I'm sure everyone of you in the audience can relate, every year we say, God, we hope we can get a little better. Think of it, 2021, oh God, this sucks. Can it get any better? 2022 rolls around. It sucks worse. 2023 rolls around. We're like, oh my God, can it get better? Some point it has to get better. When? I don't know. But the optimism of it being better next year is down in the toilet, swirling the drain. And guess what? We're probably going to go right down the shitter again into 2025. And I'm not saying that because of any political reasons. I'm saying because money, the quality of movies, all that shit is going to be the same. We are swirling down that drain. And guess what? It's going to take several years to get better, financially, to get better with some of the quality content. It is starting to get better. Gaming industry is getting a little better. Movie industry is slowly getting better. But
fingers crossed. I don't know about that one.
It's going to take so much damn time and so much undoing the damage that people have done to literally every influence in our life. That's the problem. Every time we say, oh, it's going to get better, the only way it gets better is when new people with better ideas actually, and they have passion and heart for what they do, will make it happen.
So here's my theory on each year that we face in life. Okay? We look at 2023 into 2024. You make some New Year's resolutions. Whether you keep up with those resolutions or not is one thing or the other. It doesn't matter if you even, it doesn't matter. The point is, out with the old, in with the new. The way I've always looked at the new year is, it is like hitting the reset button on the Nintendo Entertainment System. You are resetting, you are starting over, you're continuing on with your overall life, but it's a new beginning. It's a new whatever. And yeah, sure, we know that the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday thing for January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, that's happened before, it'll happen again. It's nothing new. It's just a joke. But the thing of it is I try my best. 2024, I was like, oh, 2023 kind of ended okay for me. It wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best, but it was, it was fine. 2024 so far, oh no, this year has been a little rough for both of us. With your medical stuff, my medical stuff, everything going on with us, in that respect. But overall, I looked at the entertainment that I wanted to watch or listen to or read or whatever, and I enjoyed what I saw or what I read or what I listened to, kind of thing. I curated my stuff. I'm not watching stuff that I know is going to anger me or that I don't care about or that I don't want to waste my time on. So I'm very lucky, very fortunate in that aspect of doing what I do. And it's just like every time you mention certain people, ASS, GOLD, etc., whatever, I just shake my head at you and I'm like, oh God, now what? Because it's like, what do you want? Like, what? Not you, Kai, but just like,
I want $1 million after taxes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
After taxes, because guess what? If you don't do it otherwise, then the government gets half of it anyway, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I get stuck with 500,000.
Hey, but you know what? 500,000 after taxes is more than I have now. So
yeah, but with today's inflationary prices, who knows? That 500,000 may be more worth wiping your ass with.
No, because I've got somebody that could make that last. So
it's a joke, mind you.
Yeah, I know it's a joke. I know. But
at least until you get in trouble with medical, and then the hospital goes, mine. So we got some chats we're gonna go ahead and address real fast.
Yep. I love Luminous.
Luminous says 4 decades from now it'll get better, maybe longer. And Andy says there's a reason why the windshield is big while the rearview mirror is small. Jelly roll. Yeah, pretty much. You don't want to look back at that, but we'll see. It's all about hope and promise and sunshine and rainbows and
sunshine and rainbows and oh my. Yeah.
Oh, so speaking of which, I saw a funny ass article today. Did you see Mattel's getting sued?
Again?
I am laughing my ass off about this one. And I may be a horrible human being for laughing, but holy crap, was it funny. So, you know about the movie Wicked, right?
Yes.
So the original Wicked dolls had a website on the back.
Yeah.
It had a porn site on it.
And Wicked.com instead of wickedmovie.com.
And guess what? Some kids got onto that website. The parents are so red hot. They're suing Mattel and saying their kids were traumatized for what they saw on Wicked.com.
Yep.
And I'm like, Mattel, that's going to cost you so much money. You can't, and there's no way Mattel can fight their way out of that one. There's no way. There's no way.
It was a massive misprint, but it was a horrible mistake.
That was the worst thing. And the way I look at it, they should have been a little bit more careful and done their homework. But yeah, Mattel's going to be shelling out some big bucks now.
Yeah, but it's whoever's job it was to put all the information on the boxes for the dolls, they should have known to say wickedmovie.com. Like, I mean, come on. Like, do you not do your research?
No, they
Like,
don't.
seriously?
No, that's
No, I know.
It's their first time on the internet. They don't know about Rule 34. If it exists, therefore, there's part of it.
Yep, that's true.
They completely forgot about Rule 34.
I forget. I'm sure this was off air, but I mentioned a certain corn director, and somebody was like, "Who? What? Where? Why?" I'm like, "Yeah, he does all the corn parodies."
I don't remember
kind of stuff. Axel Braun.
Yes. I do remember because we were joking about Ron Jeremy a little bit on one stream.
Yeah.
You know, he's had all sorts of interesting movies that were based off video games and movies. And Altered Geek says companies are lazy with their checking. Yeah, 100%. They should be checking that stuff because there was no excuse.
No, there's no excuse
at all.
None at all. You should have done your research. You should have had, like, okay, you know, and everybody knows this. Everybody that has seen this movie, it is my favorite Christmas movie of all time because it is an actual Christmas movie, not a movie that takes place at Christmas. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Hi, hello, nice to see you. Kiss my ass, kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah. Mm-hmm. That whole line, the whole line of bosses that goes through when Clark greets them all. Those are the people. You need that many people to double, triple, quadruple check everybody's work on these action figures for children.
Yeah, there was no excuse for that. And oh man, that's going to cost Mattel big cash. But you know, the shitty part is, depending on how many people this affects and how many lawsuits now pop up, because everybody's got to think about it, it's going to turn into a class action lawsuit. And then, you know, the real winners of that class action lawsuit isn't the kids, isn't the parents, it's the lawyers.
It's the lawyers.
They walk out saying, "I'm walking on sunshine." It's like that. I mean, that's literally what happens when they win all that money. Yeah. I mean, the law firm wins. It's a screwy deal. And that's one reason I never liked our class action lawsuits. I think like Equifax. Equifax should have been broke after that massive data breach. What was it?
They should have.
Almost, I think it's like 6-7 years ago, where a lot of people compromised. I was one of them. I got $100 worth of LifeLock. Really, dude? You guys screwed up. You guys are supposed to protect our data. We don't want you to have our data to begin with, but you have to have it for credit checks and all that crap. So guess what? It's your responsibility to monitor. Oh yeah, everybody, you're lucky if you get $5. No, they should have went broke, and people should have been in jail.
Yeah, exactly. $100 worth of LifeLock while you're relaxing on a Greece beach.
Yeah. Yeah, because here's the thing about it. When your data gets stolen like that, a lot of the smart bad guys, they're not going to use it right away. They're going to wait years down the road. So I have to check my credit, which, by the way, I would recommend everybody just check your credit scores on, you know, a monthly or bi-monthly basis. Just protect yourself, because you know,
absolutely,
no company protects your data. If you're tuning in, like I have a lot of security, and shit, my credit card got compromised today. So but here's the thing: I did get an email back in August warning me that this business may have had a data breach and card numbers may have been compromised. They sent it out to everybody. So I was like, whatever. Think of it. It's December. That was a long time before they tried. If my working theory behind that is correct. And Alter says, mine has been leaked by 10 companies now, and I have my credit frozen on everything. Yeah, that's pretty much what you have to do. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Yeah.
Oh, and Andy's correct. Law enforcement don't look for scammers. Hell, they don't even look for card thieves anymore. Yeah. I remember the old days where they dust for fingerprints and all that crap. They don't do that anymore. I'm like, what the hell does law enforcement do anymore? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not. You know, I've had family in law enforcement, but I do. That's a sore spot with me when two people run for a massive city, the whole freaking auto theft area, and they're like, "Well, there's nothing we can do about it." Well, why don't you get your ass out here and dust for fingerprints and take the fingerprints and then go run through Interpol or whatever the hell you call it or whatever the system is. You probably get a hit because they've probably done it 100,000 times. So, I digress. Hey, you said this was a rant show. This was our Dragon's Fire shit show tonight. So you got it. So I did have a little rant yesterday. You watched the Tea Time, didn't you?
Yep.
And Mandy says, "'Cause criminals are dangerous."
Well, you know.
So, funny story with that is I went off on a tangent about Riot Games.
Mm-hmm.
Social credit score.
Oh God.
Poor Steve's having a breakdown over Riot. So, yes, Riot Games, if you play any of their games, whether it's League of Legends or whatever, I guess they want to know your social credits, their status on social media and everything, because they said in their new terms of service that you will get punished outside the game for your behaviors or actions. Last I checked, if I'm not in your freaking game, you have no right over what I do.
Yeah, this is my brain trying to function.
This is why I said this is why I said companies need to focus on making games and stay in their freaking lane and don't worry about their stupid little social credit score, how you score on it. Oh no, he said some mean tweet. Oh God, oh no. We gotta give him 10 DKP penalty. Screw you guys. I mean, this is the problem with these companies, Mike, is they need to stay in their lane and sell products. That's what they should be doing. They want to make money, sell your damn products. Stop marking up the products, sell quality products, and people buy it. Stop being assholes about every little thing you do.
So, people that have been here for a while, I don't know how new Andy is, but I've only seen Andy in the last couple of weeks. So, welcome, Andy. Luminessa, I know, has been here a while. Obviously, Ramcross is like a stain on the wall, like the Die Hard movies. And
somebody's got a Die Hard hate boner. I'm sensing this. I'm sensing it because you know what? Die Hard 1 and 2 takes place during Christmas. I'm sorry.
The point. What the hell was the point that I was trying to make? Oh, so this. My chair, hopefully by Christmas, it'll be gone, and I will have a new chair. And I told, my dad came up here the other day, and he's like, what kind of chair is this? If you've had this for 5 years, and it's worked for you for the most of that time, and I'm like, I don't know, Aaron got it at one point or another 5 years ago in 2019. He looks at the bottom of it, he goes to find it. 2 days later, he finds something else, and he's like, look, American made. And literally, I've never seen a spec on any chair like this. The weight capacity is 500. It literally tells you you can sit in it 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. I've never seen a time put in office chair specifications before. I thought that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just have to limit my time in my new chair when it gets here, once Santa Claus brings it down my non-existent chimney.
So, you know the funny thing about the chairs that I had? This chair is retiring this year. Black Friday, I found the same chair that I've liked. Because here's the thing. If you're going to park your ass in a chair for long hours, you want something that's comfortable. You want something that's going to put you to sleep because it's so comfortable.
Oh, no, I don't.
You want something that fits to your back.
Yeah.
You want something that goes real good. So I bought one. It was a $600 chair down to like $300. So
Nice, good sale.
Yeah, it was a good
F
sale.
off.
I found it, so I took the advantage to buy it because it's hard to find a good chair. Everybody says, "Oh, go with those gaming chairs." Here's an idea, guys. Don't go with a gaming chair. Don't go with any of that shit. You're gonna go with good, sturdy, like type of executive chairs with the leather, and there's like Sertas and stuff. I've liked Sertas. You know,
Yeah.
go with something that's going to pad your ass, not something that, oh, hey, it looks like cool aerodynamic designs. No, fuck that. I want something that I can sit on, and if I'm streaming for you guys for 6-7 hours, I don't have to feel like I've got a flat ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's see. Luna says, interesting. I've never heard or seen that myself. And Annie says, I had a kneeling chair that I only loved. I gamed from a glider, but it was bad for posture. Kneeling chairs improve your posture. Yeah, or standing desks. I know a lot of people that do standing desks, but yeah.
I physically cannot.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that either.
I mentioned, we kind of mentioned this at the top of the show between my health issues this year and your health issues this year. I literally fell twice this year. Literally, the first time I fell this year was back in May, and I was walking up my sidewalk to my apartment building, and literally my knees and my legs just gave out like a puddle, and I just went down immediately. So I don't think, like, literally after that happened, I started timing myself. Like, I'm sitting in the chair now. After the stream, I go to get up. I will time myself from where I am here at my desk to going to my bedroom, going to the kitchen, going to the bathroom. I know it takes me about 2.5 to 3.5 minutes. If I can't get where I need to go in that time, I'm probably going down again, unfortunately. And yes, I know it all comes back to my weight. And yes, I'm going to be, and I'm trying my best to. Actually, the stupid thing is, I was already on track. I was getting 3,000 steps a day because I was walking 4, 5, 6 times a day. And then I had that first fall in May, and I was like, well, this
kind of
sucks.
It resets you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I just literally started hitting 1,000, 2,000 steps this past week again.
Well, you're making the right track. I mean, look at me. I've got a hole in my freaking leg right now from the injury I have, and that's from my heart and everything, and all this bullshit. And I went on the treadmill yesterday. I did 30 solid minutes and ran over a mile basically. Yes, I know some people are gonna say, God, that's slow. Well, considering I'm out of shape and I'm trying to recover, I don't think that's pretty damn bad. But I would have went further, but after a certain point, that wound just started hurting, and I couldn't do it anymore. And the problem with it is, it constantly freaking reopens. That's the damn problem. But because there's so much pressure coming on that damn leg, so they got to figure out how to get the pressure down so it'll heal right. But the good news is, having done that 30 minutes, the swelling in my leg and my foot was almost negligible. So, because I was going about 150 for pulse, and I was happy. I was very happy with what I was doing. It's a step. I mean, I've been eating salads for lunch. I've been doing liquid. I've been doing a protein shake for breakfast, which, let me tell you, it's a freaking shock to the system. It's a shock. And Andy says, look, if you never ever give up, Arthur's inspirational transformation. Yeah, that's the one you're telling me. It wasn't the paratrooper that got crippled or whatever, and then he went into yoga, and now he's fit as a fiddle. I could have swore that's the one you were telling me about. But no, the cool thing is, my gardening channel partner, my mom, and she needs to get in shape too. So we've decided to do a joint effort while she's staying with me. And I'm actually thankful she's staying with me now. I mean, some people would say, well, why the hell is your mom staying with you? Well, especially with the thing, I have a heart fucking issue right now. I want somebody around in case I do have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
There's nothing wrong with, there's like,
and not only that,
lived together a few years, man.
And not only that, you know what? this is the thing that I was talking about, and this is one thing that pisses me off about some people. They're like, oh, family can't coexist under one roof. Family can't do this. Yes, you have your ups and downs. Yes, you have people who disagree. But you know what? My mom's worked most of her life. She never really got to spend much time with me. She's worked swing shifts where she was 12. She'd work 3 12s, and then she'd have 2 days off. Well, the first day you're exhausted to the point you're sleeping. The second day you're trying to get stuff done. And then you come back and you work 4 12s, and that's your life. So guess what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it's, you know, I understand that. And not only that, hey, we're kicking ass in the gardening channel. I think we were at 230 last I knew. We're doing really good on that stuff. And you know, I will say the weirdest part of curating the comments on that is everybody hitting on my mom. It's fucking hilarious. Oh I laugh my ass off. I laugh my ass off. I'm like, wow. I guess, you know, I told Mom, I said, you got to take compliment for being 67 years old. You still have people hitting on you. Holy shit. And she laughed her ass off. She says, oh my God. So I showed her the comments and she just laughed her ass off. I said, well, feel proud. That means that exactly. You are young. Yeah, well, you look young. So, I mean, you know, I said, that's the way I look at it. So it was funny because we're working on some gardening and cooking ideas for some videos, because I still got more I'm dropping, but we're going through the backlog of stuff we filmed. But it's like, you know, we got some canning we're going to work on and some other projects. Yeah, because I've actually been asked when are we going to have some cooking, and I'm like, soon. I'm working on some recipes, but and he says, guys, Mom's got it going on. Yeah. Yeah, man, maybe. I'm like, holy shit. So I told her, I said, I take it as a compliment that, hey, my mom, I guess, looks young, so people are still hitting on her. Like, shit. And he says it's a paratrooper who could barely walk using crutches, asked for help online. The yoga teacher sent him a plan, and Arthur dropped the weight and is now running, all from Zero Impact Yoga. Yeah, you were telling me about Zero Impact Yoga and looking that up. For me, it's just a matter of getting walks in, because since my day job's accounting, and if I doesn't do in content creation, you know. Yeah. And Ram, I wasn't going to bring up your name, ho. I know it was you. I know you were the one saying you want some cooking. Yes, you're going to get it.
No, hold on. He can't take all the credit for that, because I said that the first time you uploaded. I said, "Oh, cool! You got the first short you uploaded." Ram, go screw off, Ram. It wasn't you that said it first. It was me, yo. Oh, take your back out back, Ram. No, but I said, "Oh, so you have the gardening side? That's awesome. That's great. That's wonderful. When are we gonna get more of the cooking side?" And you said when we can't do the gardening stuff, which is obviously winter, because
it's 21. The high tomorrow is 31 degrees. So
I said it first.
By the way, if you guys like this stuff, we are looking at doing possibly merch. This one here is my my test model of this, and this is Kai Dragon Garden and Cooking, and this is that. So
nice.
So we are looking at merchandising for the channel. If you guys are curious, I probably have some shirts, some fun stuff on that. But no, it's been going good. It's just, so I had a friend that he asked me how things were going. I said, I'm trying to get the weight under control, working on that stuff. He goes, well, if you get rid of your parents, and I'm like, and I looked at it, and I looked at him and says, first of all, my dad just had hip surgery, so he's here healing. And I said, he doesn't bother me. I said, number two, my mom's been helping with the garden, and, she's actually has a place to work and do stuff. And she ain't doing anything. And he's like, well, no parents should ever stay with their kids. That's why they belong in homes and all this. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, first of all, parents don't, if you can take care of your family, then you should without a doubt, try to help your family as long as you and your family can get along. Because in the end, all you have is family. The ones that are good family. You know, now I know there's the brother or the sister or the cousin that's a human piece of shit out there. But, you know, for the most part, you know, if think of how much money you would save and how much things might be better if people pulled in. In fact, there's a lot of cultures that do that. I think this is probably going to be my biggest L take or whatever. A lot of people think American culture is your kid's 18, kick their ass out the door and have a nice day, or if your parents are old, throw them in a home. But I've seen a lot of, you know, non-American culture tradition where you have 3 or 4 generations in one house working together. And they live very well together.
Yep.
So is it possible? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you know, some countries, they pay you to take care of your sick parents or your elderly parents because they don't want them stuck being wards of the state in some place to die.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's going to be a negative take that somebody's not going to like, but screw it. Well, so here's my thing. My grandma, she didn't get to see anybody during COVID. And she died alone.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say that if it happened to me, it happened to millions of people out there.
Yep.
And I would have taken care of her.
Yeah. I know you're talking about ward of the state as far as the elderly and things like that, but as someone who is a younger ward of the state and having to go through the whole social services system and everything else in the 90s and all that and everything else, I can't even imagine what the state of the social services system is in 2024 with these kids that either need to be removed from their homes or can't be with their parents or they need to whatever, or I couldn't, like, back then it was bad. Like, I got lucky. I got really friggin' lucky. Most kids that go through here in the U.S., any state social services system, most of them have 20 to 40 different placements. I was lucky from 93 to 99 for 6 years that I was in the state's care. From the time I was 13 to the time I was 19. And the only reason why I was 19, I was over the age of the 18 of, oh my God, I actually had to recommit to graduate high school. It is what it is. But point is, I was one of the lucky ones. I only ended up at 15 different placements. I know kids back then that were in 6 placements a week for 3.5 to 4 weeks because either it wasn't the right placement for them, it didn't work for them, or some other reason. And same thing with the elderly and the nursing homes. And oh man, the horror stories at some of the nursing homes in this country are just freaking crazy. And on top of that, like you just said, with COVID, it didn't help anything, and man, that would just suck.
Well, and Andy says this is true, and I think that's part of the problem, because there's a video I would love to pull up, but I don't think YouTube would like it, so we'll just talk about it. But Andy says, tough love is part of raising children. The child has to contribute to the household for the system work. My family didn't get that message. That's 100% true. I mean, if your kid's 18, yes, they should be working. They should be doing school. They should be doing something to contribute to the household because, and that's the way the system works. It's the same message for post-school. And yes, there are bad teachers. However, there are many bad students. Well, oh yeah, 100%. When I went to school, and keep in mind, this was 28 years ago. I was in high school. Yeah, 28 years ago. I hated it. I was an A student. I was bored to death. There was 2 things I did in school every day. Worry about which one was going to jump me because I was a nerd, and one of my old friends wanted to fight all the time because he thought he was trying to look cool in front of his girlfriend. And I told him I made it worse because I told him, I said, dude, you're acting like this because you're trying to look cool in front of your girlfriend because you think you're going to get some. Well, let me tell you something. If that's what it takes to look cool and stuff, she ain't worth it, and neither are you. Oh, and I told him that. I was like, and he, ever since, he's like, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. I said, okay, go stand outside. I'll meet you out there in a couple hours. And then I never show up every day. I don't give a shit. But I ended up dropping out because I got tired of the school system. It sucked. For people that want to learn or people that want to expand history or knowledge, because I was versed in history, it was boring. There was nothing. There was nothing for me. If I knew what I knew now, Mike, I would have graduated. I just got my GD at 16, and then I would have applied for college. And then I would have went to college at 16. I was bored to death. Now, of course, I've gotten lazy over time. I don't read and I don't research as much as I used to because technology's kind of made us all a little lazy. But same time, I still pop open a book and read once in a while. Surprisingly, I do. It's just, I don't want to rely on Wikipedia that's biased. I don't want to rely on a lot of that stuff. I will pull out a book and read it.
Yep.
But,
absolutely.
It's one of those things. And my other grandma, which, this has been pretty close to the time she died last month. But that would have been
November
2016. Yeah, 2016. It was the year I had my new job. I've been there about a year. And she had moved in where she moved near where I was at, as long as I promised to see her. They had thrown her out of her wheelchair in the nursing homes, and one day I visit her and she's choking to death, and I said, where the hell is the staff here? And the dietitian comes in and says, there's no nurses. I said, what the hell are you guys doing? And it took 10 minutes to find help.
Oh my God.
And at that point I was furious, and I told Mom about it, and I said, we got to get her out of this nursing home. I said, this is bullshit. So finally she agreed to move to where Mom was in the same town, and I was an hour away, and I said I would see you every weekend. That's why I do not like nursing homes. Now, having nurses come in and check on you daily or whatever, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, you gotta, in my opinion, you gotta know and care about your parents. I mean, now I know the sad story. There's parents out there that absolutely loathe their children and vice versa, and that's a horrible situation. Nobody should have that, but it is reality, and I get that. But, for those that still have some semblance of clinging to family, family should be important. But, and he says, welcome to U.S. healthcare system. Oh, we're going down that rabbit hole, too. We're going, guys, this is the Rant stream, holiday rant session, where we're going to talk about all this fun stuff. I think we're probably the only place that still has some of the best medical care, but it costs you an arm and a leg, and guess what? Yeah. You're lucky if you get the good care. The shit that I have seen, considering what the hell's been going on with my heart and my leg, the fact that it took this fucking long, I'm sorry. And now, you worry about a surgery. Now, I remember when my biological father had stents put in him. $90,000 for that heart surgery, Mike. $90,000. And he didn't even stay at the hospital. It was in and out.
Yeah. Oh boy, nice burgers. Speaking of burgers and fries, we have Steve Megatron off camera.
Oh, hey, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All right. I didn't expect you to come on, buddy.
I didn't either.
He showed up for 2 seconds earlier.
Yeah.
He showed up for 2 seconds earlier.
Well, I was trying to click on it because I thought I could watch the stream and not join voice.
And so I clicked it and I was like, crap, I still got to record some like dialogue for the phone system at work. So I was like, well, I can't obviously be on the voice part right now. I'm doing the prompts because I voice the kiosks and I voice the commercials, and they're like, well, since we're at it, they're like, we need a new corporate menu. So they're like, let's keep it consistent.
And Annie says, my mother weighed 50 pounds when she passed from cancer. It cost diabetics arm and a leg. Yeah, that's the problem. So, somebody posted something on X today and says, are we cooked when it comes to our healthcare? And I responded, yes. You have to have a massive reset overhaul, because our system is designed, because insurance companies and everything, to basically break you. One major surgery. This is why. So, and this is what all these idiots that are content creators out there, and I'm going to call them idiots, that say, yeah, I could work doing content creation for $2,000 a month. Because there was some talks about it, and I said, that's $48,000 a year before taxes are taken in. Then I said, do you have insurance? Have you got plans for insurance? Oh, I'm young, I don't need insurance. And I said, well, congratulations, you just got yourself into a car wreck. It was your fault. You were a dumbass. Oh, yeah, by the way, you had to have multiple surgeries, and so your insurance is not going to cover it. Oh, guess what? Now you have to file bankruptcy, because now it's going to cost you about $120,000 because you didn't have insurance.
Yep.
And they're like, well, how do you know that's going to? I said, never expect how do I say it? You got to be prepared for the unexpected. Nobody plans for health problems. Nobody plans for any of that. So you got to have insurance, because you will go broke, and they will take you down. One hospital bill will take you down and ruin your entire freaking life without insurance. And it'll still bite you hard in the ass without insurance. I mean, with insurance, sorry. It will, because you still got the standard deduction or the deductible, and you got all that stuff, and you still got your 80/20, you got all that. And every insurance is different.
Yep.
And King Alpha says, what a wonderful night for tea. Yes, a great night for tea. How you doing, King? And Andy says, never expect the Spanish Inquisition. Amen to that. But, that's the thing with it. You can't fix it, because, yes, a lot of the pharmaceuticals about making money and profiteering their asses off and make their shareholders happy. A lot of it's done with R&D, so they put the money back into it. There's a lot of things that go into it. I wish it was a little different, but most companies are beholden to shareholders and the CEOs that basically live as czars and basically make way over the top money for their position that they shouldn't even be making anywhere near what they make, but they do. And we got shareholders, we got board of directors, and you got all that stuff that get paid bank. So guess what? You're screwed no matter what. So they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. Insurance companies don't want to pay for medicine that could help. So like my doctor was telling me, oh, well, there's some medicine that could help you, but it's not covered under your health care, because guess what? They have to manually approve it, and since they ain't gonna improve it, you would have to pay $1,000 a shot out of pocket. And I looked at her and says, really?
So here's the even stupider thing of even having to pay out of pocket for stuff. I've been trying to get on this medication my doctor prescribed to me since Halloween. And the pharmacy, which is actually part of my insurance, the insurance company owns the pharmacy, the mail order pharmacy that I use. We need prior authorization. We need prior authorization. We need prior authorization. Okay, fine. I called the doctor's office. We gave it to you. Okay, fine. You got it. We're having problems filling your order. We're having this. We're having that. How? You have the prior. You said you needed something. I went out and had them resend it to you. You should have had it when they first sent it, the very first day of before I even left the doctor's office. Now I know some people in the chat that may not know this about me. I don't drive. My dad lives 2 hours south of me. I'm not having my father drive 2 hours for a medication at a pharmacy when it's just as easy for my insurance that owns the pharmacy that I'm a part of to just do it mail order.
Yep.
No, we need the prior authorization. And you've had it twice now. I've been waiting a month and a half. It's a good thing it's not crazy pills. It's a good thing it's actual pain medication and not crazy pills because I go crazy over here, don't you know? Because
no. And King says, doing good. It's great to see you both. Likewise, buddy. Good to see you. So says, only America dental is separate insurance. That is another thing that pisses me off with that. Oh my God. Because I had to get separate insurance. And guess what? Even if I go to the dentist, because, okay, I know somebody's going to say, well, yeah, you probably need it because you got crooked teeth. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Guess what? I've been wanting to get braces for a long ass time and some other things, but guess what? You have to have money for that. Even with insurance, it only covers up to so much. And one dental visit could easily be $10,000 freaking dollars. So unless you're rolling in the dough or you got Daddy Warbucks money or you live in the silver spoon life, average Joe ain't going to be able to afford $10,000 in one shot for teeth.
That's the point of having the average Joe person pay for the insurance to the insurance company. You pay whatever I don't know if it's a $50, $60, $100, $200 deductible. You pay that up until you hit your blah, 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 and then you're covered and you should be good for the year. That's the point. Because none of us are Daddy Warbucks.
Well, here's the shitty part.
And
Andy says a lot of R&D is federally funded. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of it is federally funded. Our tax dollars go to it, so you'd think it'd be a little bit cheaper on that and start business at UberMeds. But here's the other thing. I know companies that will go overseas with their insurance programs and stuff to buy medicine, the same stuff that the U.S. provides, cheaper. By thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And I'm just like, are you for real? I'm like, so we can go get meds up in Canada at half the cost that does in the U.S.? Really? Really?
Yeah, but you gotta smuggle them across the border.
No.
You gotta go into that underground.
No, that's through this, insurance companies and stuff that are trying to cut the cost.
I know.
And I'm just like, I'm like, this is stupid. So why are they so literally we're paying an arm and a leg here in the United States for it to be cheaper everywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the way the world works nowadays. The U.S. pays for everything.
Well, yeah, I have my own gripes with the medical system, but that's some of its personal experience and some of its like crap dating back to when they knocked in Obamacare, which honestly skyrocketed all of the insurance costs. Right? I mean, they're still going up like constantly. They go up double digits every year, like close to 18% across the board. So part of the issue too is they have these people that are just not like fully qualified, or they just don't want to check because they want to just give you some drugs and be like, all right, you're fine, get out. Like my wife has been having issues since she had her gallbladder out years ago, because she used to weigh like 340 pounds and weighs like she's dropped like 175 pounds like over the last like 10 years. So it like whatever her diet that she had at the time killed her gallbladder and filled it with stones. She had it removed, and then afterward, ever since, like she's been having phantom pains that are caused by certain types of food. And they won't like allergy test her, they won't like do anything to really diagnose it. Like she's kind of had to figure out what her triggers are on her own, because she's been to like the ER. She's had like massive pain attacks in her stomach because of certain things. Well, they're also like, they poison her food here too. So there's food that doesn't, and I'm not getting into like conspiracy theory crap, but they literally, like, there was videos of this guy in Canada showing the difference between like Fruit Loops in America and Fruit Loops in Canada. And there's like, they have natural, like they use like carrot juice for like the orange color instead of dyes, and they use like grape juice and watermelon juice and like things that are all natural instead of using, you know, these weird chemicals to color things into, you know. And then they use actual sugar instead of corn syrup and cornstarch and like all these other corn substitutes to kind of mess with the food. So she can't eat grains that are not gluten-free because they cause these flare-ups. And it's because American food has essentially, they put glyphosate, which is Roundup, to hasten the process of drying out the grains so that they can turn them into bread and whatever else needs to be turned into to feed America. And you go to any other country, they don't use that. And so, like, she could technically go to another country and eat bread or any of this stuff over there and be perfectly fine, because we know people in the same boat she's in. Like, I'm thankful it doesn't affect me, but like, it's all of these like crapshoots that insurance goes up, it doesn't cover anything. It's almost better to not have it at this point because it really doesn't cover anything. And the rates continue to climb. They don't want to do anything unless they're prescribing you a drug that's coming from the same organization that's screwing you in the first place, because they're all kind of in cahoots with each other. I mean, on Twitter earlier, I even saw a thing about Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield won't pay for the complete duration of anesthesia for patients that have surgical procedures.
Jeez.
So, like, the entire medical system here in the United States is totally screwed and backwards. And, like, while I applaud the effort of Obamacare, of, you know, pre-existing conditions and things like that, it really didn't create that atmosphere that they were really hoping for. And I feel like because it was so shoehorned in as, like, we've got to get this passed, with who knows what else got passed with it. Because, you know, heaven forbid they actually focus on something and just pass that one item. They got to, you know, send like the entire Encyclopedia Britannica as a signing gesture. And, you know, it would be nice if they could do, and I realize there's that, like, Canada's and other countries aren't perfect either, but at least our taxes pay for it. It doesn't come out of our pocket.
Okay, but this is interesting. This ties in. I just saw a tweet on Twitter about the number of people who go bankrupt every year because of medical bills. They list Norway, the UK, France, Spain, Portugal, Denmark, Australia, Iceland, Italy, Finland, Ireland, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, Japan, Canada. All are zero. United States, 643,000.
Yeah,
people.
One of my followers, I follow her too. Jen, she's awesome. She brought that up. Says, "Are you know, is it too late on our medical? Are we screwed?" And I said, "Yeah, we are. We have to start over."
Yeah, we almost have to reboot the entire system because the system's broken.
Insurance companies have been in for profiteering for too long. I get it. Capitalism, you're supposed to make money and yada, 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 yada. I'm not saying we're going to end capitalism, but there's a difference.
There's a difference in being a capitalist, whatever, and wanting to make money and basically raking poor people over the coals just to get basic medications. It's not
like that. Insurance companies aren't even regulated, Mike. I mean, you may say, I mean, yeah, there's little regulation provisions here and there, but think of how much bullshit we have to go through if a hail hits our house, or somebody steals your car, or any other damn thing that could happen out there, and you end up paying an arm and a leg, and the insurance company comes out smelling like roses, or every year the prices keep coming up, and it's it's because of this or because of that, but yet you haven't had a claim since you've had them for 10 years. You haven't even used them. So literally you're paying for somebody else. No. It's just like all the ones that run and flee the states. As soon as a hurricane or earthquake hits, they run away because they're like, oh, we can't afford it. And then they flee and they take the money and run. This shit's got to stop. It's got to stop somewhere. Man, I got some
somewhere.
chats to read real fast.
Yep.
So it
Africa
says
just showed up.
there's a bit of exaggerated. Even a specialist, a tooth extraction implant would maybe run 2,100 total without insurance. Even so, that's a huge amount. And he says, did you know that a method for regrowing your own teeth has been discovered? Read about this decade. Yeah, I knew somebody that actually had a tooth put in her gum and it fully grew back. And then Andy says, yep, a car went down across the border of Nogales, got a full anchored dentures for a fraction of the price. As Alex says, also dental insurance has its own rules. They will not cover the same procedure on the same tooth twice. Granted, it's very rare to have that situation, but if something like an implant fails, insurance refuses to cover second time. Yeah. So it's like, what the hell are you paying for insurance? And then so it says, that'd be like Norma just saying your cancer wasn't cured with one chemo treatment. We're not covering anymore. And so, let's see. Turing's pharmaceutical CEO, Marin Shkreli, raised the price of Daraprim from $1,350 to $750 overnight. Yeah, I remember that story. And then he claimed that he was using all that extra money for R&D costs or to further improve it. You know, and a lot of times they say, oh, well, it's a drug that very few people use. So guess what? We can raise the price up. It helps us out. Here's the overall thing. To me, it's no different than, okay, we have a crisis of a hurricane or some of the things that happen, like freezing events where suddenly gas stations raise the price up like $10 a gallon or whatever. And then they get busted, they get in trouble, all that stuff. To me, it's no different. You're literally price gouging off a crisis. Yeah. I mean, you're not, for me, capitalism, I ability to make money, build money, do it, all that stuff. I'm a capitalist by nature, but there's also, in my opinion, it goes beyond capitalism, goes almost to corporatism when it's all the money. And then you also, not to mention, you want all the control over somebody. You want control their livelihood, what they say, what they do, which like Riot Games, that would be corporatism, where they want to have a social credit score on you for what you say. Corporatism would be, basically insurance companies telling you, oh, this life-saving drug that you want, you can't have because it's not on our plan. But you're paying for this plan, but we're not going to do it. That's, Andy says, it's blood money. That is 100%. And that's one of the things. And I had to explain, in the younger generation, I'm sorry, and I know, as I'm saying this because I'm saying my age, 44. A lot of people think that if they become a content creator, and I'm rehashing this again, without insurance for $1,500 a month or $2,000, they think they can live comfortably. And I'm like, you have one catastrophic incident, you're cooked.
You're screwed.
You are toast, especially when it comes to medical. Without insurance, you are toast, and even with insurance, you are toast.
Yep.
It's just it's the matter of degrees of toast you want to be. Do you want to be $100,000 toast, or do you want to be $10,000 toast? That's literally the difference.
Yep.
And
it's crazy.
It's crazy. And there's and that's the problem with the medical system. It's been needing a basic enema for a long time. They've needed to revamp the medical system. I'm not saying socialized medicine. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying the system itself needs, because we shouldn't have $150 for 2 pieces of ibuprofen at a hospital.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
This bottle of Aleve, $10. Whoop-de-doo. So that, I mean, it's a markup game. And then they say, oh, well, the insurance will cover 90% of that. So then it's no, we shouldn't be playing that damn game. We shouldn't be playing insurance. I get that a lot of people say, a lot of them say, well, the hospital's got to cover the cost, because if somebody comes off the street and doesn't have money, well, we got to have the insurance and we got to have the next person pay for it. You know what? That's what tax deductions and stuff are for. That's what it should be. Now, I'm not saying hospitals should operate for free, but
no.
I don't know if a lot of these hospitals are federally funded. I can't tell you because I haven't looked into it. If they are federally funded, that's even worse.
Yeah.
No, they're usually bought up. The smaller ones are bought up by bigger ones. My other brother used to work for one of the tech support for one of the hospitals in Michigan, and it got bought out by another hospital.
Ew, that sucks.
Like chain, yeah. And
so
they
it is
kind of ruined the whole
privatized
thing.
then.
Yeah, it's all privatized. It's just they're dirty as heck.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, but then again, and the thing is, I'm not a political. I'm not any party member whatsoever. But I look and see all this stuff on X, and I see the pictures, and God, I hope it's not true, but I have a bad feeling it is. We're still throwing money overseas, all these other places, and we still can't give basic quality of life to people that lost everything in North Carolina. Yeah. I saw people still living in tents, and it's freezing out there, and it's cold, and there's snow, and I'm like, God, I hope this is fake. God, I hope this is fake, because nobody deserves that. Especially when we have programs in place to stop that, but guess what? Apparently they don't have any money because they weren't responsible with it. But yet we're still throwing money and ignoring the people that we need it. It's upsetting. It breaks my damn heart. And I hope those pictures are fake, but something tells me they're not.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think they are fake. And the other problem is the homelessness epidemic in this country. Like, there aren't enough places being built. Like, we still have homeless on the streets everywhere.
Oh, it's bad.
Like,
and it's gotten worse, it's Mike. So it's getting worse.
No, I know. I know it is. I know. And my thing is, there's a field across the street that isn't being used. Like, it's not segregated for water. It's not this. It's not that. Somebody privately owns the field. They're not doing anything with it. How about, like you're saying earlier about, tax write-off, whatever. How about giving that land to the state or to the city or to whatever? Have them build a brand new whatever, Ronald McDonald House or whatever.
Because they don't want to government doesn't want to manage that stuff, and they don't want to take care of that stuff. I mean, they'd rather line their pocketbooks and skim off the top. True. I mean, here's the big problem, and I'll get to that just saying. Aram has some. I've had doctor's bill for 15 cents. They mailed it to me. F them. I meet the deductible every year within 3 months at the beginning of every year of the year. Yeah. I mean, yeah, screw them on that. But
that's ridiculous.
So here's my thing. This country has a lot of people that need help, especially this is just something I've seen in my own town. We have a homeless problem really bad in my town that I live in right now. There is about 6 blocks down, people lined up, sleeping in the streets. There's people sleeping there. They actually had to run off a whole bunch of people because there was a river near where I live that they were building encampments in little mini towns along that river and stuff. Oh, wow. They were living under the bridges and building massive tents and stuff. The problem with that was they say, oh, well, we just tore up the tents or we made them vacate. That doesn't fix the problem. They'll still be there tomorrow. They'll still be there the next day trying to find where they can eat. And then they get desperate and then they start attacking innocent people or they start robbing or they, and some of them cannot help it. Some of them are unfortunately mental health. I'm trying to find a nice way to word this because YouTube censors and all this stuff. But the reality of it is they need help. Our government got rid of a lot of that help in the 80s. Sorry, Reagan. Yep. That was probably the dumbest thing that you did. We don't have the help anymore. We have a crisis of help. These people need help. They need to be, unfortunately, probably medicated, whatever the case. And the other thing is they get well, they think they're better, and they get on, or they're on it for a while and they can't afford it. Yeah. And then next thing you know, they're off it because they can't afford it. And there they go again. We
It's
the
a
government
vicious cycle.
the government needs help, and then all I see in like our town and other towns is, oh, we just need to find ways to push them aside. No, they're freaking human beings, just like the veterans. I see a lot of veterans treated like garbage too, and I'm like, all those people need help. They're humans, and they're part of our country. And I'm sorry that there's so much disrespect. This veterans, that one makes me mad when I see a lot of disrespect to our veterans, because they're some say, oh well, they get all this GI Bill, and it doesn't matter. They see crap and they serve our country and do things that we don't see, and we have to thank them for what they do in their service. And and to see that they get treated like garbage when they come back, that should not be the way.
Yeah, no, I mentioned this before. My uncle Keith, my dad's brother, was a Navy Seabee in the 90s, and he went over and he was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, all that stuff, and everything else. And I've known other friends. I've known my cousin Robert was in the Navy back in the 80s when I was a young kid. And it's like you just said, thank them for their service, because a lot of us can't do what a lot of those men and women, but women have been in the military for a while now, can do. And it's just amazing what they've done with that. But it's like, don't ever disrespect those people, because we are all humans. But those people that have faced war, that have gone through what they went through, it's like that's where you have someone that you don't know on the street that doesn't know because they're so mentally broken and they can't get the mental health that they need. And just, oh God, it just breaks my heart. It's just friggin' crazy.
No, it was, I had a dear friend, he's still around, and I'm not saying I ain't saying anything on this.
That's fine.
But, he was in the Navy, and he saw a lot of shit, and lost friends in the Navy too. And the hardest thing I had to do in my life was talk him out of doing something bad. It was 6 hours of talking. And I was pleading. And he actually luckily he went and got the help he could, and he's doing great now. But for one of him in that situation, had I not been there, because they don't have the help, they don't have the care, they don't have the help, think of how many we've lost.
Oh, I know it.
Because nobody was there. I'm not trained at it. It was literally me in tears fucking begging him, don't do it. It was,
and, I used to have the number memorized. I don't, but I don't have the 800 number memorized, but almost anybody that is watching this stream, you have some sort of mobile device or whatever. If you need help of that kind, if you are feeling like doing something that it's not the answer, I'm using my best, trying my best not to use the certain S word to it.
Yeah, we can't. I know. It's the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I know. I'm saying, if you are feeling like that's an option, number one, as someone who attempted 30 years ago this year, it's not an answer to whatever is going on in your life. Dial 988 from any mobile device. Talk to somebody. Hell, talk to one of us. If you need to reach out, if you're having issues, whatever, talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And we can figure it out. I've done multiple researches over my lifetime of having to get people help with various issues like that, and it's not not a good thing.
But my point with it, Mike, is that I think of how many people that don't get the help especially
I know
veterans,
that's why I always say
and that's
get the
shitty
help
thing.
if you can. Yeah, absolutely. Call the number, reach out to anybody, like just whatever you need to do.
Here's the thing, and this is a holiday rant. This is also the worst time of year for people.
Oh yeah.
This is also the darkest times for people. It's supposed to be, there's supposed to be a lot of good connotations by Christmas. And the thing is, Christmas is also the worst time, the most depressing time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be for anybody.
It shouldn't be, but unfortunately it is. Yeah. And
families are fighting. I mean, think of the politics. Think of how many freaking families got broke up over stupid politics.
Yeah.
For what reason? People that loved you that just had disagreements, you cast them aside. That's not right. Everybody's entitled to have their own opinion. You should try to be the best human being you can and love each other. I mean, that's the thing. Absolutely. That's the best and righteous path to it, because nobody needs to be alone on the holidays. Nobody, and families should be together because that's what you have. And it's sad that Thanksgiving and Christmas are always the biggest two times a year that gets the gloomiest for people, and it should be the happiest.
It should be.
And
I'm doing my best. It's been 3.5 years since Karen passed. I do my best at the holidays to just ignore it, because if I think about it, I'm going to remember the holidays that we did have, even though they were happy times. At this point now, those memories are really sad because I know I'm not going to have any more of those memories with her because she's gone. So it's like I break down at least 3 times a day between Halloween and New Year's. That's okay. It's fine. I'm feeling my emotions.
Some people say grown men shouldn't cry. You know what? Screw that. You lost somebody you loved in your life. You lost a loved one.
Anyone that says any person shouldn't cry over loss, right there. Fuck you. Sorry, not sorry, YouTube censors. I don't care.
Hey, you gotta be sorry. It's my channel, buddy.
Yeah, well. The only F-bomb I've dropped tonight.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know. But
and we're like 2 hours into the show or whatever it is.
Well, hour and a half, but we're not at 2 hours yet.
Whatever. But the point is that, no, screw that. Screw that macho crap from the 50s and 40s and whatever. No. If you're having a problem, if you need to feel whatever emotions you're feeling, let it out. Even if it's just sitting in your room by yourself, whatever. Like I said, I'm not ashamed of it, but like literally a movie, thankfully not Die Hard because, but a movie could make me trigger in thinking of something that Karen and I did together, or something my mom, like next year in May, it'll be 10 years since my mom died. And my mom's birthday was in November. So November, December, between November and December, it's like, it's really tough for me around the holidays. Am I working through it? Absolutely. Does it happen every single day? No. But when it does, I just let it happen, let the moment happen and live in the moment, and then let it pass and move on, and whatever needs to happen. But it just is just one of those things where the holidays, as much as we want them all to be happy, shiny, and whatever, sometimes you just can't polish a turd.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As I've gotten older too, Mike. It's sometimes it's a struggle because I don't have my grandmas anymore. I lost all 3 of mine. I was blessed to have them in my life, but there is no giant Christmas dinner. There is not all of us, hanging around over the tree or watching Christmas lights or all that stuff. Now that I've gotten older, have no interest in the Christmas lights, but I remember we used to go watch them. I remember there was a lot more stuff we did with Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
it's it's one of those things that I guess when you have to reflect on things, I miss him still to this day. And there's days that, you get upset. You choke up a little bit about it. You always will. If they were close to you, it's not hard to not reflect on it and get upset. My mom's friend, one of my mom's closest friends, just died last weekend. 51 years old.
Sucks.
And failed organs, diabetes, all that stuff. And we were supposed to go see her next year down in Texas, and she didn't make it. I could see something was wrong, because I snoop around on Facebook once in a while. I hate Facebook, but they were on there. She used to be fairly a size like me, and then she was just skin and bones. I'm like, holy crap. And I asked Mom, what the hell happened to her? And she said, no, she's been really sick. And then, a year later, after Mom told me that, luckily she went peaceful. She died in her sleep. That's the only thing I guess I could say that anybody, lucks out, is that most of us aren't fortunate like that. I mean, I don't like saying this, but like the way with the health, with like my heart thing, I could have a freaking heart attack. It's like, it's like, what do you do? It's a shitty thing. But and Andy says, native Texan, and I just want to say, Andy, it's always an honor to have you in our chat. It's always an honor to have all you guys. I appreciate you all coming on, supporting the streams, talking. We love engaging with you guys too. Some things I have to be really careful with, because, social media is like, you can't say this, you can't say that, blah, 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 and we want to stay on the platform, especially all the investments done and stuff all the time.
Only investing you just did recently. So
yeah. So we have to be really careful on that. But the thing about it is, this really did turn into a holiday rant.
Yes, it did. We even have Mr. Reindeer himself with the eggnog in the background.
Yeah, we do. But
now he's not saying anything.
Yeah.
I love you.
I will say no such thing. You blasphemous fool.
But the thing about it is, you got to be thankful for what you have, and you got to be thankful for the memories.
Always thankful.
That's the best you can. It's the best you can have. This was around the funny story, Mike. This is around the time that my ex tried to get me to do something diabolical that I told you about.
Ew. Yeah, I remember that. Oh no.
Yeah, I remember that. It was around this time period, because it was about three or 4 weeks after my grandma died, and I remember that. And
damn,
she wanted my Final Fantasy house so bad. She was hoping that if I was not around anymore, she could still get access to my stuff. And, she wanted me to try to hit Alt Control Delete basically on my life. And I was like, oh, nope. No. I laughed. No. I remember that. I was drunk off my ass and laughing. No, it wasn't pegging. It was the, well, let's just say Truck Kun from manga isn't sending me to another world.
Well then.
You know what? You don't know about that, Mike. So, and a lot of manhwas, and there's a few mangas, the truck always runs into this guy or gal that's walking down the street, and then they get hit by this truck, and then they get sent to another world, and they always call him Truck Kun. And I'm like, Truck Kun's a real asshole. He always shows up and just hits this guy, and next thing you know, they're in another world.
Makes me think of the Wambulance from Transformers Prime, but that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah. So, by the way, did I mention I hate censorship?
Yes, what happened now?
Oh, it's just these like Visa and MasterCard, all of them interfering with people's purchases for uncensored shit, like in Japan and all that stuff. Yeah, last I checked, if you're paying for the damn thing, it should be your damn money.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And Taskmaster gives you a lot more control than in Task.
Oh! Who's...
Okay, that one's good. You deserve this, Safika.
Oh.
You deserve this.
Wow, Safika. Damn, I thought that was a ram con. Wow.
That's a good one. That is a pretty good one.
That's dumb.
That was a good one.
Oh God.
But I've been seeing
Just
that,
for
and
she gets more of this.
oh God, she gets Mariah Carey Christmas. See, remember the first chapter of The Boys and what happens to Huey's girlfriend? So I have,
Nope,
admittedly,
I've
never seen The Boys. That's one on my to-do list someday.
It's not even anywhere close to my to-do list. I just have no interest in watching that show.
Yeah.
I'll read the Wikipedia article if that makes anybody happy, but I don't want to watch this show.
I hear it's a good series. I hear it's a very good series.
I'm not judging the series. I'm just saying okay. As of this current live stream, I am releasing episode 105 of Studio 2009. I've got to edit 106, 109, and then 110 to 131.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time to watch Du Bois.
But yeah, with these with these payment agencies, they're trying to block everybody from being able to pay for stuff. I think it's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
They should not be involved in doing that stuff. They should just let people buy the stuff they want. If it's not illegal, they should not be the authors of moral high ground. Yeah. Because I'm sorry to say, Visa and MasterCard are not purveyors of moral high ground. I'm sorry, they're
not.
Yeah,
they're shameful. People who plug things and whatever for whatever. Here's the thing, okay? Like you just said, as long as it's not illegal, and as long as you pay your credit card bill. What do they care if you're spending $200 on manga or anime import discs or books from Japan?
Shouldn't matter.
That's my point. As long as you pay the bill, as long as they get their blood money every month from you because they give you the credit to do so, what the hell do they care? Like, I understand like you're talking about Kroger earlier in the show about the grocery store. I understand tracking purchases so they can suggest things to you of, you like this similar item? Here, try this. Blah, blah. You bought this? Here, let's suggest. I understand that. But yes, what? Huh?
I was responding to Safka. Safka says I haven't heard that. Let me pull it up on X. I'll see if I can find it.
What didn't she hear? What did I miss? Oh God, my brain sucks.
She hadn't heard of credit cards blocking purchases.
Okay.
It's been showing up on my feed on X a lot. I just gotta remember where I saw it. It was under a lot of the VTubers are talking about, especially when they're talking about manga and hentai and stuff. Which I'm trying to find that real fast. If I can find the article.
Okay, I've got it on Reddit here. But when was this? This was last year.
Okay.
Last year.
I found it. All right, I found it. Hold on here. We're gonna switch over here. I just need to make sure this will work.
Sure, it functions properly, please. Heaven forbid.
I gotta change screens.
Change trains.
Hey, it works. It works just fine the way we wanted it to, but I need to flip over.
Very cool. Very cool.
So Anime America 21 hours ago. So if I'm understanding this correctly, Visa, the credit card corp, are overstepping their authority by denying certain purchases outside America because they're pro-censorship. What the actual hell? Further down, for those who want the too long to read free expression rally, was held at Japan's House of Councilors, the lower house of Diet, with multiple in-house meetings. It'll be stressed how credit card companies, payment processors, are using double standards and aimed at non-Americans. Today, December 3rd, I'm speaking at the Parliament rally, House of Councilors, regarding the credit card issue. I spoke about a series of cases in Japan where credit cards expressions have been regulated, and the detailed discussions with relevant government ministries and agencies. My visit to the United States, my visit to the U.S. headquarters of the Visa on August 1st of this year, and the matters confirmed there, and the direction of future responses. So they go on, they talk a lot about it because they're not happy that, you know, like Visa is blocking a lot of their purchases for Americans and stuff.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So, and then you go further down, there's a lot more people, and it looks like there potentially could be a lawsuit brewing, because then they show, like, okay, so they're saying, okay, so Japan is being blocked from people purchasing overseas for manga and all that, but yet OnlyFans allows Visa.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they basically said, you got Visa, you're full of shit. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's
Love that feature though. That worked out really well for us.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm improving the show. We got this nice new camera. We got some new tools for everybody. Like I said, the show is going to be continuous improvement. I'm working on getting some new art. I'm working on some banners. I'm working on all this stuff. Even working on a potential VTuber model down the road. So stay tuned on that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of different things I'm working on, but that's the thing. And I love they pointed out Visa is taking this moral high ground with Japan, but yet they allow OnlyFans. It's like, come on now. So,
oi.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff on there. So, yes, it makes me shake my head. I don't like censorship. I just don't. Yes, there's some laws and stuff that protect people, but when it comes to you're an adult, if you want to buy whatever, that is your freaking business. Yeah. I think having a payment processor say, Mike, you can't get your favorite tentacle porn from Loop this week.
Or Orc or whoever wants to sell it to me.
Yeah. I mean,
whatever am I going to do without my tentacle porn?
Well, yeah, because Loop can't sell it to you anymore. Oh no, it's so stupid. I don't like censorship at all. I think persons should be free to express themselves. If they want to buy the entire collection of Naruto and run around with their arms behind their back and scream and believe it, that's their business. I mean, if you want to buy the entire collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or if you want to buy every porn magazine known to man from Playboy for the last 30 years, that's your God-given right. I mean,
I can't reach it, but the turtle van is over there.
Oh, nice.
It's so back in whatever year it was that Nickelodeon or Paramount, or it's probably the company that owned them before that, whatever, they released the 87 series in a turtle van exclusive DVD packaging, except it's the worst DVD packaging ever, because it is literally something like this. Now, I'm not putting this here just because it's Hello Mariah Carey Christmas, but it's something like this, where you open it up and the discs are just inside with nothing protecting them. It's in like this clamshell thing. And I'm like, That's the worst DVD packaging I've ever seen for a complete series DVD set whatsoever. But yeah, credit card companies, what the do they care about what I'm buying or what you're buying or what Loop's buying for us or what Orc is buying for us, because Loop and Orc definitely owe us and buy us stuff and you know, whatever. Just kidding. But you know what I mean? The point is, like I said earlier, if I go out and buy $250 worth of stuff, whatever the stuff is, as long as I pay that $250 at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month or whatever it is to pay the credit card off, what the hell do they care as long as they get their money?
Yeah, all they should be worried about is collecting the interest, and that's it. As long as people are paying the bills and collecting interest, you should just shut up and go sit in the corner and reap the benefits. I mean, your CEO's making millions of dollars, so who gives a shit? You got everybody else is making millions of dollars. Think of how many people are. Credit card debt is one of the biggest in the country it's ever been because everybody's living on it. You know what? Guess what? Credit card companies are the ones making the most money right now.
Yep. I don't understand why credit card companies or any of these companies have to get into the politics of anything. I don't care what the politics is, but if you, specifically credit card companies, since we're talking about that, like I just said, you extend us $500, $1,000, whatever the credit limit is, $200, whatever, $2,000, whatever it is, like, and we use it and we then repay it to them. They're getting their money back after it's borrow and lend, as long as you pay the person back, etc., or the company back, etc., etc., etc. You know.
And Andy's right, it's all about control. I mean, and you know what? And this is a slippery slope. I mean, you know that old saying about the slippery slope, you're here and you get them a little bit more power. Well, about right here at this point of it was when, and we have to be careful how we say this for YouTube and Twitch, but
it just went off the cliff.
No, this kind of started where the credit card started wanting to monitor your sales more and get involved when you purchase pews. That was the slippery slope because people used to go to gun shows, or they used to go to, you know, it wasn't uncommon for people to go because they wanted to go deer hunting or pheasant hunting or any of that stuff. It wasn't uncommon. They started monitoring that, and then they started rejecting sales here at some point. And that's the part. And this is where I've always said it's a slippery slope. You give them too much power, then they're going to try to. So they're right here. They're going to test that limit and see if they can go further down here and say, okay, can we control that much? And that's the problem with that's the problem with these corporations that do that. And it's
you gotta leave those reloadable church pews alone.
Yeah, well,
come on.
I know that was horrible.
No, it's good.
I know.
Church pew.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Right.
But no, that's what I was saying. Is there's a slippery slope when you give an inch, they will always take a mile. That's anything you look at perspective wise. It's always that way. It has always been that way. Now I understand the premise behind it because they thought maybe the government was like, hey, we need you to try to act as moral authorities and all that. Well, first of all, credit card companies aren't moral authorities. They're like loan sharks, except they don't come out and send Tiny to break your legs. So, I mean, come on now. I mean, it's like, don't you remember that? Don't you remember those old games where they had Tiny and he was this big, tall, like 8-foot guy with all muscle? That's Tiny. So, that's that's the thing with it, and I just don't like it. I think I understand why people want to put in place some type of controls here and there. But once you let it go too far, that's where you have the problem. Always do. You always do. So
Never let it go too far,
I do have
folks.
some fun updates for you guys. So, we've been kind of talking ranting, but you know what? I decided let's have a little bit of fun. So, we're going to dive right in here.
Oh, no.
Hey, look, we can see ourselves. Hi, Mom! Hi, Dad! It's supposed to have flipped over, but that's okay. Let me find it. Oh, come on. Come on, computer. See, now it's wanting to do that. Okay.
Now who's got the potato?
It ain't the potato. It's,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there we go. All right. So, this is something really exciting I have to share. So, I like Project Zomboid, and I'm very excited to see what's happening. So, this came out November 28th. It's called What's Next? The unstable plans of what it currently looks like. It will happen during the beta once it's out there. They said a lot of people they've had for internally tested have really liked it. So they expanded the map, lots of new towns and locations. There's underground areas, basements, high-rise buildings. There's a new lighting system, darker nights, performance optimization. There's now animal husbandry, so you can raise cows, pigs, sheep, and chickens. You have to capture them. You can also hunt now in the wilderness, deer, rats, and rabbits. So yes, you will be chasing them down and hunting them. There's new fishing mechanics. They've expanded their lore with newspapers, flyers, new TV and radio. There's a whole new build menu. They're initially having a new UI. They're doing surface crafting, pottery, and blacksmith trees. They're improving the agriculture. Some new music, there's some player vocals, new clothes, containers, weapons, and world objects, better UI scaling, randomized wilderness and biomes, and new grass. So as you're traveling, the biomes are going to change. They have basic tracking and hunting. Let's see, they've improved gunplay, new seated animations, there's corpse dragging and window chucking, more Romero-like zombie spawn locations, improved sneak and combat balance, environmental story improvement. They're adding later into the unstable because they wanted to get the unstable out sooner, but they're adding expanded crafting and skill professions, so they're going to add a lot more professions. Hunting, breakable metal fences, multiplayer will be reintroduced. As of right now, it'll be strictly single player because they want to work out a whole bunch of optimization issues and stuff and make sure it's going to flow right. Raccoons, and there's more. So this looks like this patch is coming out closer towards Christmas. They're choosing to delay it out right now because they want to make sure the testers they have right now are happy, and they don't want it to go past the new year. They want to get this out. They said out of 30 people in the internal beta, they said it's been extremely positive, and that's been a relief on them. They enjoy the way the game feels now. It's playing more smooth and the world feels alive. So, no, I have not seen that, Rampros and Safra. I'll cover that in just a second. So, our changes to the flow of PZ with rebalanced dead spawns. So, you know how if you round the country road, you'd have 100 million zombies? You're not going to see that anymore. They want the zombies to actually be more compact in the cities and not out in the middle of nowhere, where it's like, why would they even be out there? And they're working on.
My first thought was, why are the rats out in the forest? Aren't they usually in the cities and towns?
Yeah, and they're focused on improving the ability for players to sneak around crowds of zombies for the stealth. You got a lot of framework going. Here's a new snapshot of the UI that they're doing. The crafting, they still has a lot of time they have to work on it. They got more crafting going on. Here's a video that you can watch showing the new UI in action. Since we are doing this, I want to make sure the music's off. Hold on. Okay. Just real quick. So here's your new crafting situation, and they got the new workbenches here. They got the new tools. As you can see, they have stuff laid out there. This is the new crafting menu, and you can actually expand it out now. And as you can see, it's going to tell you the skills, the difficulty of all the weapon or furniture, weapons, everything in here. So you can kind of know how you're going to, what you're going to make. And you can use that menu now to just assign how you want to build it. So no more right click and build. You can just go right from the menu, build and go. And then you can just choose on here the walls, the type of walls you want to upgrade it. And then you can just place your chair ahead of time to build it. So it looks pretty cool. This new one here is what the husbandry, they're still working on it. Each animal to automatically create its own zone for feeding and drinking and breeding. So they're working on this more. And then this one, you get an animal menu so you can help you take care of your livestock. And then they're showing the new sneak radius to show you how they've improved it. So it's basically made a lot of different things. They got fog, night, showing the radius. And then, of course, this is hunting. You also have wild turkeys you can hunt here. So it looks pretty damn cool. And Zap says, could they add NPCs before adding animals? They've been having trouble with that, so I don't know what's going on. And Ramcross says, have you guys talked about how Steam is making games stick to their updates? I guess they put out new terms where the game have to be better detailed on updates and meet their deadlines or be booted. No. Can you link me that on Discord? We'll take a look at it. Yeah, can you do that? We'll take a look at that on Discord. But all in all, I am very pleased with that I saw. Considering the fact that this is the first update we've had in way over a year that's coming that actually looks really good, I'm very pleased with it. So, and maybe I have a lot of high hopes, but that is still one of my games I enjoy, and I'd like to see it better optimized. I'd like to see it flow a little better. So if this is going to improve it, hey, I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
I'm all for that. And yeah, if Ram can link me, I will pull that up. I need to set, well, we have gaming news and media. So if you guys have news articles you stumble on games and stuff, don't be afraid to submit it to us. We'll read it, and if it's newsworthy, we'll cover it. Let's see if I can find it.
Game companies.
I'm looking real fast too, see if we can find it, in case he can't send me it.
Do your job, Ram. Get off your TV.
You watched it. Oh, you watched it off one of my favorite YouTubers. That would probably be the. He says favorite, so he knows it's probably the Quartering. Even though I don't really watch him, because yeah. Maybe it's Quartering. I want to see where they got the new source.
Yeah. Instant regret for. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay.
Oh, Asmongold. Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
That's shocking.
Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Let's see. I found it.
Yes.
Basically, Cliff Notes, Steam says F you to publishers. Just put the publishers on notice. And it was on Beller Gaming. So he's reacting to something from Beller Gaming. We're not going to put that up. I'm going to see what I can find. Bear with us, guys. This was a breaking news kind of thing, so I'm curious.
Hey, Ram, what was the name of the reporter in Die Hard? Or is it Die Hard 2 that has the reporter? I forget. Because that guy needs your job.
Well, I know in October Steam changed their wording for their games and said that you do not own the games, you're leasing them basically.
Yeah,
I know that part. I know where that part is.
Thank you. Thank you, Zafika.
But I'm not seeing that. Let me check Beller Gaming. Sometimes he has his sources cited. Because now I'm curious. Because he reacted to
Richard Thornburg, that's who it was in Die Hard 1 and 2.
I guess apparently Nintendo's planning to try to ban Palworld.
Again?
Yeah, I guess 3 days ago. I need to. No, they're trying to ban it off platforms, so I need to go further than that and find the sources. Okay, Valve just put game publishers on notice. Let me see if I can find the sources. Bear with me just 1 second.
Welcome back, everybody. Today,
I want to just check his sources, where he's at. Sources, partner. Lisa Beller, he puts... Oh, well, that's not really a source, dude.
Don't you just love shit like stuff like that?
Oh yeah, he just linked a game. I want to see where exactly is the exact news, because I don't do rumor mills. No, it looks like Steam is changing the way they are changing the way how DLCs and season passes are changing. I did find this under Steam's documentation workshop. So basically, they want you to adhere to all deadlines if you're doing season passes or DLCs. Gotcha. They're demanding you commit to a timely launch, and you need to clearly communicate your content in each DLC and when it'll be ready for launch. And if you cannot tell them when you're going to launch these DLCs, then you are not allowed to offer a season pass. So basically, they're saying in a way, they're basically trying to protect the consumer. So no more of these companies just doing these season passes is what I'm seeing. Yep. Under the Steam distribution agreement, you have provided a warranty to Valve that your DLC will conform to, in all respects, the description provided to customers, including promised release dates. Even if there is yet been a customer complaint, Valve may take action if you delay the DLC for more than a quarter, 3 months beyond the release window you originally promised. Actions include removing the Steam Pass from the sale on Steam, refunding all customers who purchased the pass of the unreleased DLC, and allowing customers the option to refund the entire season pass. For the purpose of the refunds, Valve will the value of the unreleased DLC will be decided in discussion with Valve. Valve may also take action if your content is not released after 1 year has passed. Actions may include refunds to customers, removing the season pass off the store. Okay, and then let's see the other documentation. They're talking about advanced access, talking about pre-purchase incentives, and you have to conform. So basically,
they're doing it for the people.
And they also have noted you need to click the green button to release your game for all users. This will transition the game from pre-purchase and release full launch. So basically, essentially what I've catch in the clip notes here, because there's a lot to go through. This is under their contracts. So this is one thing I will give shout out to Beller News. At least he puts his sources in his description. So if I want to see what he is saying and see if it refutes, because he does a lot of commentating on it, not just covering the news, I can at least refute it. And basically, no, Valve is tired of publishers not taking serious their work.
Good.
That is freaking wild. And actually, that's a very good thing. Because how many games...
for the users.
Yeah, it's actually helping. It's actually providing value to the consumers who purchase these DLCs and Season Pass and all these updates. So, yeah, it's a good thing. Valve needed to do that because, unfortunately, there's a lot of companies out there that take advantage of the consumers, or they promise stuff that never comes.
Yep.
And so maybe there will be some value there. So, that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. I'm actually very pleased to see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's something we need. We need more. We need companies like Valve. Now, granted, I don't always agree with Steam or Valve on some of the things, but this one I can get behind.
But in this case, again, like I said, they are fighting for the users on this against the game companies, and it rightfully so. Like, the game companies need to have deadlines and timelines and blah blah blah, blah and all that and everything else you just mentioned. So, I don't know if you have anything else, but
I do have one more thing. All right, what's going on with you?
No. I was going to say, all right, Columbo, go ahead. One more thing.
Okay, so I will be having to release in my final review of Warcraft very soon. I finally got all the documentation, scripting done. Just got to add the B-roll to it and stuff. So hopefully it'll be out either tomorrow or Friday. I'm thinking latest be Friday, and I also got another one I'm working on that I hopefully have this weekend. It's the Teenage Mutant Turtle review. I will say I had some breaking news that I added to it for those that did not know about it, but Blizzard Activision basically told GOG to take down their old Warcraft stuff. They do not want the old Warcraft stuff, whereas GOG wanted to maintain the Warcraft stuff there for the antique of it, or because it's iconic. It's been there for 30 years, all that. So as far as I understand, GOG has refused to take it down. Because of that situation. So I don't know if GOG is going to capitulate and take it down entirely yet, but if I know more, learn more, I will let you guys know. But I think it confirms exactly what I said. It's a lazy ass cash grab, and they're trying to push that product onto the store now because they're trying to grab as much money as they can by saying, oh, well, you can't play the old ones anymore, or nobody can get the data from the old ones that they purchased, all that crap, which right now, unless GOG gets some type of law, litigation on them or something, I think they'll probably tell them to go pound sand.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's interesting to me because a lot of these companies are just going for these low cash grabs, and as far as I'm concerned, this is part of the problem. This is part of my gripe that I have. Will it change? I don't know. I don't think the corporate behavior is going to change as much.
The only way the corporate behavior is going to change is if enough people speak with their wallets and make their wallets be silent and don't buy the stuff. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not. And that's the big problem. You're never going to change that. You're not going to change how, any of these companies act. The only thing that you can do is essentially speak with volumes on your by not paying for it.
Oh,
and so for Mike, I'm setting this up for him. So bear with me just a second.
Oh no, I didn't do it. Whatever he's trying to set up, I didn't do it.
All right. Would you like to talk about this?
There we go. Yes. Shop.geekcastradio.com. You can get t-shirts up to 4XL. You can get mugs. You can get sweatshirts. I don't know what the sweatshirt. I assume the sweatshirt size is also up to 4XL. I don't know. I wish there were bigger sizes so I could actually buy some of this clothing. We've got Steve Megatron's original character, Ultimus Prime, on a couple of these. We've got the Altered Geek logo. We've got, I think this is very cool. It is called a GCRN glass pop can.
Okay, that's it right there.
So,
all right.
Yeah. So basically what this is it's a glass in the shape of a pop can. I think that's very cool. We have mugs, we have other things, all kinds of stuff. Shop.geekcastradio.com for all your holiday shopping podcasting needs. If you would like our logo on a gaming pad or a t-shirt or a hat or something, you can go over there and spend some money. GeekCastRadio.com. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up. I have taken Studio 2009 daily until New Year's Eve, if I can pull it off. But right now we are into day 4, almost day 5. I have got up to day 19 recorded, I think. Maybe, I don't know. So we got a bunch of stuff over at geekcastradio.com. We got a bunch of stuff at shop.geekcastradio.com. Go check it out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking all the stuff out. Next week, kind of I'll have to talk about this off air, but I may need to switch Monday and Wednesday because I have to check. I might have a recording conflict. So you might get a Dragon's Lair on Monday instead of Wednesday, folks. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it.
Yeah, because usually I take Mondays off. So worst case scenario, we may have to flip flop another day. We'll see. We'll talk it out. The scheduling on that. You know, I mean, he knows I may have to teach him how to drink tea on Tuesday.
I know how to drink tea out of a bag like a normal person.
Oh, you heathen! You heathen!
Right. You drink the tea.
You shall repent!
You take the tea bag.
You shall
put
repent!
the tea bag in the cup. You put the...
You shall repent!
I will not. I will only drink my tea out of a bag. Thank you very much.
How dare you! Even if I have to send you one of these, you will learn to drink tea sophisticatedly.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Pinky. I see you now, Mr. Pinky.
So it's up because since they have way more money to do, they can easily wait us out. Yeah, they can usually wait us out, but then they cry that they don't make the sales, and then they, whatever. So it's hard to say. It's a battle of attrition between consumers and corporatism. You and your
corporatism.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Christmas, man.
Yeah, I know. So, okay, we got one more rant just to cap off the night, because this has been a fun night, and I'm glad to have you guys all here. How many of you guys love Christmas music? Seriously.
Yeah.
So here's the problem with that. I think retailers ruined Christmas for a lot of people because they would play the Christmas songs in October nonstop.
No. See, now most retailers I know, or most retailers I used to shop at, they wouldn't start until the retailers used to be smart. Yes, all the holiday, you can buy your Christmas crap in October, absolutely. But the actual holiday music, most of them didn't start it until right at or after Thanksgiving.
See, and I was happy with that. But at Kmart, I listened to the Beatles' Christmas, It's a Wonderful Time so damn much that it burned the desire to hear a single fucking Christmas song except on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because I'm burned out on them. I can only hear so many variations of Jingle House Rock and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and everything else before I start coming up with really bad parodies. So yes, it was one of those things. So yes, now the radio station's already starting to play Christmas music, and my first response is like wanting to hit my head on the steering wheel. I'm like, I have been burned out so bad.
But that's not new. Radio stations have
right, I
been
know.
pulling the
They do it in
Christmas
December. They will start mixing in as it gets closer to Christmas. They'll add in more Christmas to get everybody in the spirit. And that's fine. But because retail burned it out of me, thanks corporate America. It's like, oh, I don't want to hear this song for the 1,000th time.
So here's the thing about Christmas music. I have curated a playlist called Christmas Outside the Box. I have been curating this since 2014, 2015, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some that are your classic, like Little Drummer Boy and things like that, but it's different. It's not your traditional version of it. It's a very base Christmas, and it's a whole thing. But like I like 12 Pains of Christmas. A lot of the Bob Rivers comedy core type Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rock Sugar, who is a pop rock metal cover band. Lead singer is Jess Harnell, voice of Wacko from Animaniacs. They did because the whole point of Rock Sugar is pop rocks, so they take the rock anthems and mash them with pop lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
They took Metallica's Enter Sandman and mashed it up with Journey's Don't Stop Believin'. So, Don't Stop the Sandman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It's hilarious. But they took it even further a couple of Christmases ago, where they have it as a fully unique song with just the Metallica and Journey instrumental. Don't Stop the Santa Man. Oh my God, it's the best Christmas song ever.
Mm.
Yeah, certain Christmas music I can handle, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
absolutely. I do understand that retail life around the holidays when you're in those stores and stuff. But luckily,
I feel sorry for you retailers out there. My hats go off to you for having to endure the Christmas music as much as you do. For those still in the brick and mortar stores, God bless you.
Absolutely. And honestly, most stores, yeah, absolutely. And most stores in the last couple of years, most stores have been closed on Thanksgiving or Christmas or
which
whatever.
Which is the way it should be.
Absolutely, it's the way it should be, 100%. So here's a perfect example. Is it what comic is it? Is it Transformers? Is it? I forget. There's a comic from Image Comics, Skybound Entertainment, where Christmas is on a Wednesday this year. December 25th falls on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And which means we're not doing Dragon's Lair that night, folks.
We'll probably We'll probably do it on Monday. Is more than likely what I'm planning on, because I plan on taking off that Monday before Christmas Eve. And yes, I will be doing shows. Christmas Day, I don't know for sure, but Christmas Eve probably be a streamathon. It'll be the final push to try to get to 2,000 or 5,000 subs as much as I can. Let's see what we can do. But I did want to mention next week I have a special guest on Thursday. It won't be a normal stream. The one, the only, the Mean Green Machine is staying up late to sit with me for the second anniversary or whatever the hell it is of the Game Awards. So me and the Orcosaurus will both be dual streaming and having the Weenie Roast next week. And if Mike's wants to join us for that 4-hour shit show.
For half a second, I was like, wait, why wasn't the hell I invited? See, people just don't invite me to stuff anymore, folks. I'm a nice guy. I'm okay.
Says the guy that didn't know half those movies. Just kidding.
What?
Says the guy that didn't know half those movies. I'm just messing with you. But No, if you...
Oh, no, I'll give you those movies.
I'm just giving you shit. But if you want to join me, instead of doing the Dragon's Lair next week, since he has an engagement, we'll probably do that on Thursday. That way he can hang out and he can be on my stream and sit with me as we watch the Game Awards and roast the hell out of them, because I'm sure there's going to be the dumbest things you can think of. So if you want to watch along with us?
Honest question. From when's the normal game release? Is it just January to December? How does that work with the Game Awards?
I have no idea. Basically, a gaggle of idiots known as IGN and PC Gamer and all of them come together and they get to choose the games that they want. It's not really it's not the player's choice. And then once they have a list of the games, then basically the gamers can choose out of it. In fact, they've already had some really sus choices in certain categories that make no damn sense. And of course, we will be roasting them.
This is right, absolutely. So I'm not trying to spoil any of that. The reason why I asked that question was so I could ask you this question: is that what games have come out this year that can actively, like, to me, it's the video game awards thing is supposed to be the Oscars of video games. Well, the Oscars are usually stuff that...
Yeah, they cut out stuff. But like last year, not even a month before the game... Well, actually, I think not even like 2 weeks before the Game Awards came out, Spider-Man came out. And when it came out, that made a whole bunch of the... like game of the year and all this stuff, and I said, how the hell is this game of the year when hardly anybody's even had a chance to play it?
Yeah, no one had a chance to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
that's gonna be.
And then another one for best game of the year came up was Elden Ring's DLC, which pissed a lot of people off in the category because they said, should that be under best ongoing series? Because Elden Ring's already won like game of the year two times back to back 1 year, and people are like, this is not a full game, this is a DLC, but they threw it in there, which in my opinion, DLCs, unless it's a full release of another game, which the Elden Ring's DLC was not, it was just an addition, should have been best ongoing series, as in they're keeping the game alive. So yeah, so we will have the Weenie Roast next Thursday. So it'll start early. That means I'll probably have to change my gym day to Wednesday next week, but that's fine. Anyway, so tomorrow I will be starting around 8:30, 8:45 Eastern, because I want to make sure I have plenty of time to get back from the gym, get ready. And then we will... I have not decided what we're diving into yet. We may revisit Project Zomboid for the night. Just a fun... since I haven't played in a while, can I survive Louisville by myself? You know, minimal mods, nothing really fancy there. Or we may continue with some Soul Mask. And then Friday, I do have plans that we're going to dive into a few things. We may also check out some old RTS games. I haven't decided yet. So we may dive into some StarCraft 2, since I haven't played that in a long time. Or we may, there's some things to fluctuate. Then on Saturday, we'll have the DJ and Green stream. I'll have my new setup hopefully fully hooked up by the show. And then we'll have a show after that with another game. And then Sunday, depending how it all goes well, maybe a stream, may not be. I want to work on getting this new chair. I should have it tomorrow, so I probably won't work on it till Friday. And I have half my sound equipment. We have a new studio coming together. This is my way of saying thank you guys to you all. Like I said, I wanted to continuously improve the show. That is why we have a new camera that, as you can see, it's got fuller detail. It doesn't make my hand all crazy. And it's been fantastic. So like I said, we appreciate every one of you, and if you are new to the show, please follow me on X. Please smash that like button on YouTube. Please consider subscribing. You can even follow me on Twitch over there. I am expanding the platforms. We're continuing to keep growing because that's what we want to do. And we're going to make this the best damn media outfit we can. Have a lot of fun with it. Got a lot of great guests. I got some more interviews coming down the road. I'm still trying to book times for them. If you have not checked out my latest interviews, definitely check out my interview with Mizu Matamari. It was a lot of fun, or Mizu. Had a lot of great information.
It was a good one.
And it's a whole different, every interview has been different. So if you start with Noir, you're going to start with somebody that's brand new to pretty much that. Then you're going to see somebody that, has been in it a couple years. That's a very talented artist, Sirach. Then you got Mizu, who's into the drama tubing stuff. You're going to find that there is so much cool stuff out there and so much content that you can digest, that there's a lot of options out there. And I am continuing my path down this journalist route with some reviews and more interviews because, like I said, Sky Dragon Media, I want to get into that, more of that, and not just gaming here, and continue our talk shows and continually improve them. So with that, I want to say peace, love y'all, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.